Was this always open?
Yeah, I'm sure there's something up ahead that would block
Must have
us.
just missed it. Yeah, it might be a missile door or something like that. We'll find out.
Those things that like something you can super missile, but not all of them are. What's it here?
This would have been what we need gravity beam.
Yeah, we need grapple, yeah. That's annoying.
Not yeah. Is it called gravity beam, the grapple beam, or just grapple beam?
No, it's called gravity beam. I'm trying to think, is that gravity beam? That sounds familiar.
It would be a cooler name, I think, than grapple beam.
That would be quite a good weapon. Oh no, it's gravity suit you're thinking of.
Yes.
Gravity suit is the suit active area which allows you to move at the same momentum
through water.
Underwater. Yeah.
As opposed to the swimsuit.
Yeah.
She effectively gets a swimsuit in some other games.
I suppose the swimsuit allows creepy people to move closer to you.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we've talked before about. Shall we just get it
get it out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start that.
Yeah. So in this one, you can see Samus is a badass. She's really just tall, athletic,
statuesque.
Yeah,
and she's an Amazon.
And then it was in Melee as well, Super Smash Brothers as well. She's just like this. But then in Brawl, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, we see Samus has her Zero Suit form, and that's become certainly very popular among a lot of people because she does look very attractive in it.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
But
nobody can deny that.
Yeah, and there's not an issue with her being attractive. There is an issue though that I think both of us find, where if you look at how she's changed over the games, hey, there's plenty of articles if you're interested to look at this. But she starts off with as a bit like, taller than Solid Snake. She's she's fitting to the life that she leads. She's really muscular. She's quite tall. She's a really impressive.
She's a space warrior. I think she's meant to be like 6'4" or something, according to like manuals. You know, she's ripped.
But when you see her in the Zero Suit form, she doesn't actually have much particularly big muscles. She just looks toned, and they gradually just sort of make her boobs and her ass bigger and bigger in future iterations. When you look back at her armor and other things, that isn't nearly the case.
I'd like to make the point that that's not the case in the Prime games. It's not the case in Fusion, which came out at the same time as this, and certainly well before Brawl. But it is the case in Zero Mission. She gets a bit more feminine. That's the first appearance of the Zero Suit. But it's actually in the game. But I would say that in Brawl it's the case because that's Japanese developers. Is that kind of fair to say?
I wouldn't have blamed it.
Because in other M, apparently they try to, which is the one that nobody likes, and I like the gameplay, but I'm not so hot on the characterisation. I don't think anyone else. But apparently in other M, they're trying to make Samus a bit more submissive and feminine. And that was
things they were trying to explore during the story. You can understand that.
Yeah. But I don't think it was. I admire the experiment of Other M, and I do enjoy its gameplay, and I do think it feels like a Metroid game.
I feel very cautious to just say it's a Japan issue, but just. But it's something to note. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't. I wish I could just. No comment on that.
But it's something I've noticed myself.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's an unnecessary move in the character, which just is. It's fan service, but it's fan service in one way of, oh look how attractive she is, but in another way it's fan disservice of taking the character and then not doing good things with it.
Well, it's a shame. I mean, there's a difference between Samus Aran and Lara Croft. I mean, Lara Croft's always been a fan servicey character, but recently they tried to reboot the franchise and they made her look a lot younger and vulnerable, and like very imperiled. Like a lot of the death scenes in that are graphic and very uncomfortable, and I think intentionally so. Like there's no. I think you'd have to be a twisted bugger to really corkscrewed in the head to find, the Tomb Raider, like the most recent one, titillating. Like the bit where she gets like impaled on stakes or like shot with arrows. It's not. There's nothing sexy about it. It's not like oh look at vulnerable Lara in the jungle. It's like oh god.
Look at the map where we're going.
It's gruesome.
Do you know where we're going? Oh, there's a room we've not explored
I
over
was
there.
going to try and go through, yeah, Watery Hall. I think it takes us to a lift. Hopefully back to Findera.
Yeah, so we've touched upon that issue. But in this game, we like how Samus is.
Yeah, no, Retro Studios gets it exactly right. She's she doesn't have to be a silent protagonist, but she's tough. I have no problems whatsoever with Samus emoting, as long
look
as
at the map again just a minute.
as long as she's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go through around here.
Yeah.
Cool.
We go in a circle. This is the bit where we got to charge, I believe. There where we had the runes.
Oh, the rune
The
room.
rune room. But there's a mothbally bit we can get into now. Anyway, Samus should be badass. Sometimes she's not.
She can be badass and attractive, but we don't like the changing of it just because.
Just a sexual badass. I mean, it's like. I think the thing that annoys me about it is there's loads of sexy women in games. You know, you're tripping up over them. You know, and
it's not that she can't be attractive while being muscular.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, what I mean is there's loads of characters that are fan servicey, and like I don't have a problem with fan service as long as it's justified. As long as everyone gets like their fan service. Like Gurren Lagann does it best. Gurren Lagann has ridiculous fan service, but it's got ridiculous fan service for everybody. So you know that's how you should do it. You know, don't leave anybody out. Is what I mean. You know, nobody likes being included, especially in like a fandom.
Is that sandstone there?
Yes. Didn't even need to check. Sandy story. Imagine if Samus came to Edinburgh. Like half the old town would just be demolished.
Absolutely leveled.
It'd be a nightmare. Oh, psycho.
It's good that we don't have too much acid rain. The entire city
true.
will melt. Thankfully, we're in lovely, sunny, rainy Scotland where the water is very nice.
I don't remember.
You can drink water straight from the tap. Imagine if we could.
Lovely. Lovely tap water, eh?
Going to restaurants. What would you like to drink? Oh, just some tap water. Oh, fine.
Do that in London.
Well, at least it's still drinkable in London.
The older I've gotten, the more I appreciate just water. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really like a drink, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I do just need a glass of Coke, you know. But
it's not you like it.
Yeah, but like
hesitant to say need.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. It depends on the circumstance, but a glass of Coke can be just the right thing. But like water, when it's nice enough and it's cold enough, there's nothing like it.
Oh, when it's a hot day, you know, you're thirsty.
Yeah.
Oh,
just water. Lovely.
Well, there's also the hill walking effect of what I think about food and drink. When have you experienced much being at the top of a hill and then having something to eat or drink?
I've definitely experienced periods when I've been like gorge walking or whatever, and all I could think about was my lunch. Like that was the only thing.
There was a
kept
particular
going.
situation where I remember I got given these like oaty bars or something, and I tried one. And I didn't really like it, but then I was hill walking, and when I was up at the top, I was checking for a snack I had on me because I wanted to have something, and I had one of these oaty bars, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
And it tasted amazing because I just climbed a hill and I was at the top of it.
Yeah.
In these situations where you can just really appreciate how nice water is.
That's something I often talk about with my parents, you know, especially my mum. My mum remembers obviously like growing up as a child in like early 60s, 70s, you know, sweets being like having a fraction less sugar than they do now, and just, you know, to us they would seem really bland and rubbish. But that was all people had back then. So
back in the old days,
what was sweet, you know.
I remember the old days. My nan being given a banana back in, I don't know, like the 40s or something, and then they didn't know what to do with it. They tried to eat it with the skin on.
Well, my mum didn't have. My mum didn't even have Italian until she was about 20.
Didn't even have Italian.
22. Something like that.
Sheer poverty.
I don't think she had any foreign foods at all.
Oh, soon enough it's going to be like, wait a minute, you've never even been to space. What? It'll be like now if we hear somebody has never been on a plane.
It'll be the equivalent of only eating food from one planet. Like, what's wrong with you?
Born too early to explore space, too late to explore the world. So now we just explore dank memes.
Do you think one day in the future people will have like such a good grasp of bioengineering and stem cell research and things like that we can't fucking well go here now.
Can we not double jump up there?
No, it's blocked because of arbitrary reasons. Yeah, do you think in the future people will be able to like grow meat?
We've already done that.
Well,
recently we've managed to make stem cell burgers that are the first one cost like, as usual, the first of anything costs loads of money.
But do you think it'll be mass produced in the future?
It's getting cheaper and cheaper, so it's entirely possible.
So imagine that. Imagine the time when like being vegetarian or being a carnivore will no longer be a ethical issue.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That was, what think of.
The first burger they grew, it was really not tasty though, because there was no fat cells in it. It was entirely muscle.
Oh right. Oh.
So
oh god.
If you think in a burger, it's not entirely red. There's lots of the white bits, which is bits of fat, and they're really tasty.
Yeah.
So there's that, but this particular burger, it was certainly quite ethical, probably, but maybe not so tasty. So we'll go back to Findrana Drifts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Talanover, the rainy place,
yes.
And then go down the big tube, and then through Magmore, and then back to Findrana. That should be us.
Right. We'll do a wee journey.
Yep.